The following session was recorded live in San Antonio, Texas for the 2003 CALLERLAB Conference. This is tape number 28, Creative Mainstream Session.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is a session on creative mainstream choreography. Actually, it's on successful creative mainstream choreography, the key word being successful. To help me with this presentation, on my left I have the lovely and talented Lone Blume from Soro, Denmark. Lona's been calling for about 10 years. She's just yesterday got her certified square dance teacher certificate, passed the test. She's a member of the Board of Governors and former member of Danish Area Teachers and Callers Association. And on the other table I have my friend Vernon Jones from Poolville, Texas. Yeah. Vernon is president of the North Texas Callers Association, member of the Board of Governors of CALLERLAB, and has been calling, about 30 years?
25 years as of last night.
Yeah, okay. He started when he was 14. Anyway, it's nice to have Vernon and Lona here to help with this. Because we're all callers and teachers, and we have this vast amount of knowledge of choreography and the skills that we possess, we have a thorough understanding of the formations and what they can do to the dancers, and how we can take a call and break it down and to its little bitty pieces and stack it back up in different arrangements in different ways. We think this is really neat and really good, and will really excite the dancers and show them things that they've never been shown before. And the problem with that is we sometimes get too creative. It's very difficult for the dancers to do. A very good friend of mine used to tell me, he said, "Doug, you call too hard." And I said, no, I don't call it. Look, you can do this, and you can take this, and you can move these over here, and there's nothing to it. He said, there's nothing to it to you, but there's a lot to it to the dancers, because they just don't get it. Most dancers learn to dance by feel, by muscle memory. If you call long enough and travel enough places, you're going to eventually call for a club somewhere where the dancers believe that swing through, followed by spin the top, followed by right and left through is all one call. And they will. And if you do something to break that routine, calling something unexpected, swing through, spin the top, recycle, or something, step through, or single hinge, something that they're not expecting, okay, and just call it to a cold floor, it's creative, I guess, but it's not successful. They will not do it. You'll end up with a bunch of people standing around. So hopefully today we can show you some of the things that we can do that are pretty basic but different. And that's what this creativity is all about. A little bit of it will go a long way in a dance. You don't have to introduce a lot of this to have a good dance and get the dancers excited and think, wow, I didn't know I could do that, or wow, I've never done that before. This is not about rules and definitions, okay? Some of the things we do may stretch the rules and definitions. So don't come up here beating us on the head with a CALLERLAB Bible if we say something and you say, well, that doesn't fit the definition. Well, maybe it doesn't. We're talking about showing the dancers a way to do something, to feel something that they possibly haven't done before, and that will make them, think they've had a really good dance. And with that, I'll turn it over to Lona.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Well, I can relate to what Doug just said about the swing through, spin the top, and something else. Because I called that at my very first dance in California. I called head square through 4, swing through, spin the top, recycle. And I heard this lady from way back on the floor say, "We can't do that from here." And I figured, no, they couldn't, because they were all in facing lines. Because they already did the right and left through, even though I didn't ask them to do the right and left through. So that's true. You have to be aware of what people are used to do. Another thing also is we might sit back home with our checkers and work some neat routine out. and it looks really good. We might even try to put it on our computer program if we have such a thing, and it still looks really neat. Then you call it at a dance, and boy, it doesn't look neat anymore because it's way too hard, or way too different, or way too odd, or whatever. So you really have to be careful in when you analyze what is it you want the dancers to do. Where is the difficult spot, if there is a difficult spot, and why is it difficult? We need to understand why is it more difficult to scoot back, or easier to scoot back after the touch a quarter instead of after touch a quarter and the center straight. I mean, it's still a scoot back, isn't it? Well, I don't know. What do you think? Is it more difficult to scoot back after the center straight? Well, not really, but we're not used to it. Yeah? Sorry?
It makes it more difficult because the dancers were required to do the scoot back on open hands, and then they join hands again.
Uh-huh.
The hand tells you the direction you have to turn, and they've lost that communication to each other. I'm talking about a dancer now, not a caller.
Yes. Good. Exactly.
That hand, and
Exactly. And I guess they are more used to doing the scoot back right after the touch a quarter. They are not so used to doing the center straight and then something else like scoot back. At least that would be the case where I come from. I'm not quite sure if it applies over here, but that is another thing. At color schools, those color schools I've been to, we have always on a board 4 letters, say KISS. Have you heard about that? Yeah. And that is really true. We have to keep it simple. We have to keep it simple. But having said that, we can still be creative. In a little while, I will ask for a square. But before I do that, I will hand the microphone over to Vernon. He might have something to add.
Oh, okay.
One, two, 1, 2. Now we're on. All right. Thank you, Lona. A while ago, Doug introduced me as his friend, Vernon Jones. Let me expound upon that just a little bit. For those of you who don't know, Lawrence Cooley from Germany was supposed to be on this panel, and he had some trouble with his flight coming from Germany, and that's very understandable. His flight got canceled, and so my friend Doug Bennett came to me today about an hour ago and said, would you be on this panel? And we've had about 6 months to work up material, and you got about an hour, so you're on the panel. So that's the definition of his good friend Vernon. Creativity. Yeah. Several years ago, I have been calling 25 years, and about 10 years ago, I got in my calling career, I got so bored that I was getting absolutely tired and bored with myself, and I looked out at the dancers, and they were just as bored with me as I was. And matter of fact, I was so boring that I quit calling, but the dancers did 2 more moves because they knew what was coming next. And I decided then that I was either going to change or I was going to quit. And so I decided that I would change. And so I started going back and moving checkers around and moving dolls around and moving the computer programs around and started doing some different things. And then as a result of that, I ran the entire gauntlet of that we all run into is that, oh, gee, this is great, look what I can do here. And before long, I was doing stuff that I couldn't dance myself. And so I had to reel myself back in. There are a lot of different inspirations for doing creative mainstream, but the biggest one is to alleviate dancer boredom. Now, then one of my biggest what's the word I'm looking for? My biggest motivations for coming up with creative mainstream is Kenny Chesney songs. And the reason that is because when a Kenny Chesney song comes on the radio, I turn it off, and that gives me more time to think about stuff. You know, the reason we come up with creative mainstream is to alleviate dancer boredom. One thing that you have to keep in mind is that don't go too far. One of the panels that's been in CALLERLAB conventions in the past is different but not difficult. And I feel like very good creative mainstream is just exactly that. Little bit things that are a little bit different, but not too difficult that people can't handle and can't do. And it doesn't take a whole lot of thinking to be just a little bit different and just a little bit of creative. And hopefully before this session is over with, we'll have a better understanding and give you several different ideas of how to go about doing that.
I think the main thing is when you're working with a dance group for the first time as a guest caller, is you got to get a feel for the floor and what they're going to do. You can't just start throwing this stuff at them cold, okay? You need a tip or two to warm them up, maybe put in a little bit of your routine, and I hope every one of us go to a dance, especially as a guest caller, with a purpose. We're calling with a purpose. We have a theme. We're going to work something, okay? And we know what that something is, and we've prepared it, and we worked on it for at least 6 hours before we ever got to that dance. We know what we're going to do, and we also have a backup plan in case that doesn't work. Because, as Lona was saying, sometimes you can work out something that really looks good on paper, and you get there, and for one reason or another, it doesn't work. Either because you move your checkers more or less in lines, and dancers dance in circles. Everything is danced in little bitty circles. There's hardly any linear, straight back and forth action. So sometimes that's the reason why something that will look good on paper will just not work. So start slowly. If you have and I hope you do, have some set routine that you're going to do, or some theme, whether it's a scoot back or a zoom or a circulator, whatever call you're working with, okay? Take the easiest possible, formation which will guarantee some dancer success, and start from there and build up to maybe the next most difficult one, and work them into it. Do we have anything else before we want to get a square up and work for something?
Did you introduce yourself?
Yes, I did. Okay, I'm sorry if you didn't hear. I'm Doug Bennett. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm the owner and producer of Global Records. I'm on the board of CALLERLAB Board of Governors. I'm serving in my second term. This is my 5th year on the Board of Governors. I've been calling for 25 years, and
That part I didn't get.
did I not say that?
Neither did I.
Well, I didn't want anybody to know who I was in case they buy this tape. Well, thank you very much for bringing it up. I think probably everybody could see better. I know we have some space back there in the back, but if we could maybe move some of these chairs back and get a square up in the front so that everybody in the back can see. Everybody's going to be turned around backwards if we get something back there. So let's try to just make some room over here on one side, and we'll get a square on the floor, and we'll see what we can do with some of this stuff. That's probably enough room. If we can now, can we get a volunteer of squares on the one square on the floor? Can we have 8 volunteers, please? If we don't, we're going to appoint you by name. This would be great. Yeah, small square. We're not going to be using music. We're just going to be kind of walking you through this. We need some help up here. Come on, help us out, y'all. We need some dancers.
I'm sorry I can't dance with you because I already know.
We need a lady. We need one girl. Come on, one of you young, beautiful ladies.
Okay, I'm here.
All right, here we go. Here's Lona.
Okay. I would like to start like with the easy stuff, like stars. I love stars, and I'm sure that we all use stars, both maybe in pattern records and also in singing calls. So the way I look at stars is that we have an awful lot of stars. We have 2-hand stars, we have 3-hand stars, we have 6-hand stars, and we have 8-hand stars. Yeah, but that's how I look at it. Can I ask all of you to face your partner? Now with your partner, make a right-hand star. Turn it all the way back to your corner. And with your corner, make a left-hand star and turn it all the way back to your partner. And I could go on from here. Right? This was a two-hand star you can face in. This was a two-hand star. Not very difficult. Actually very easy. Everybody did it. Now let's have the head two ladies make a right-hand star. Full turn back to your partner and he will courtesy turn you, I hope. Yes. Let's have the side two ladies make a right-hand star all the way around and you will be courtesy turned at home. Another way of creating a two-hand star. Let's move on to a three-hand star. Maybe we should just do the easy one first. Heads make a right-hand star. Turn it halfway and back out. Sides make a left-hand star. Turn it halfway and back out. Everybody from here join hands and circle left back home. We all knew that one. We can build into the three-hand stars. I love those stars. You can do all kinds of things with it. Let's have the head two ladies make a right-hand star 3/4 and stop. Okay, I'm asking you to stop so that everybody can see what is happening. Now those head two ladies, they did a right-hand star. This was a two-hand star. And they turned it exactly 3/4. Now there is this outside couple. Head ladies, with the outside couple, make a left-hand star. It's a three-hand star. Turn the star full turn. And those head ladies meet again, make a right-hand star 3/4, and you will be courtesy turned. And those two ladies chain, and you should be back home. See? We got three-hand stars. We can try with the side ladies. Side two ladies make a right-hand star, turn it 3/4. With the outside couple, make a left-hand star, it's a three-hand star. Turn it full time, meet again, girls, right-hand star, only 1/4, and you will be courtesy turn at home. Only 1/4. Okay, make it 5 then. That's fine. So see, that's another way of making three-hand stars. Is it difficult? No. Is it different? Yes, it is very different. So at the same token, we can have the side two ladies make a right-hand star 3/4, and that boy reaches out and courtesy turn the girl. Very good. Now roll her away. Okay. So we have two lonely boys and two lines of 3. Okay? Lines of 3, forward and back, just for the fun of it. Those two lonely boys make a right-hand star full turn back out on your home spot. So now they also got to try a two-hand star because they were getting bored standing there all alone. We can have those two lines. We can have them walk in, make a right-hand star, turn it full turn, and back out where you started. Does that feel different? Yes, it does, because we're not used to dancing it that way. Those two lonely boys pass through. Face right, walk around 3 persons, make room for him, hook on the ends. Okay, we are back here. Make an 8-hand star. Okay, very good. Make an 8-hand star, turn it full turn, full turn, full turn. You have to walk, yes. Yes. And eventually we will get back. This is beat, I don't know, 84? So this is it is not difficult, is it? Yeah, you can square up, It is not difficult, but it is different. And we can play a lot along that line. A little later, after I hand this over to Vernon, I will work a little more with those 3-hand stars because we can do a lot of stuff with that. I could finish it maybe. We could have at the same time, we could have the head 2 ladies lead to the left and stop. Good. Those 2 head boys promenade halfway on the outside. Okay. Head ladies with the outside couple make a right-hand star, turn it full turn, meet the left-hand star, turn it, whatever, 3/4. Yeah. And make a right-hand star with that boy, turn it a little more and a little more and a little more, and I did not do what I wanted to do. Square sets, I'm sorry. I didn't want that star. Yeah. We try it again. Head ladies, lead left. Those 2 boys promenade. That's so far so good. Yeah. So we start with the left hand. Left hand star, that's it. Full turn, okay. And those two girls meet again, make a right hand star. 1/4 only, you will courtesy turn that lady, and everybody promenade 1/4. Okay, we have two new head ladies. Lead to the left. Those two lonely boys promenade halfway. Make a left hand star, full turn, yes. Girls meet, make a right hand star 1/4. You will be courtesy turned, and everybody promenade 1/4. See, and I stole this from Mr. Bennett. He came up with that one, and he calls it Stars Over Texas, and I think it's neat. It's really neat. And if you dance to the beat of the music, it actually times out in a 32 beat. And it's really nice to dance. Very different, not difficult. Is this creative mainstream? I think it is. I think it is, because it is very different, but still the dancers will have success. And I can even use this at a beginner's. In Denmark, where I come from, we have dancers specially made for beginners that are no longer, they may be what I call mainstream 24. And I do stuff like this with them, and they love it. And then I can do it at another dance, maybe a plus dance, and they think this is difficult. But when you work the stars the way I do it, it's no longer difficult, it's just different. I'll hand this over to Vernon.
All right, very good. One of the things that I like to stress on mainstream is just changing it just a little. For instance, where does it say on singing call that the heads always have to go first? Okay? Always and forever. All we ever hear is heads go, and mostly at times it's square through. Heads square through on a singing call. So if you want to get creative, change it, let the sides go first. Okay? Or if you then after what happens if you call it your club dance and you call sides square through first, or sides whatever go first in the singing call for a year? Guess what happens? They get used to it, don't they? Okay, so you've got to be aware of that and change those things up and be creative with that. How about letting the heads go first and then the sides go first? Then the sides go next. Okay, then the middle break and then the heads go first and then the sides go first. One of the big arguments about that is if the heads go first and then the sides do the second one, well, what happens if the heads go twice? The head boy's doing it twice, so what's the difference with the girls doing it twice? Okay, so there's always that factor. Do this for me, please, and this is going to be trivial for you. 4 ladies chain. Join hands and circle left. Ladies center and men sachet. Okay, we didn't have any enthusiasm. Ladies center and men sachet. Yeah. Alaman left. Then promenade. How many times have we all done that? Jillions of times. Does it feel good? Is it fun to do? Sure it is. But who says we've always got to do it that way? 4 ladies chain. Join hands and circle right. And I like to preface it by saying, boys, which way are you going? Right. Which way? Right. Ladies center and the men sachet. And ladies center and the men sachet to a right and left grand. So who says we can't do it that way? And promenade about a grunt and you'll be back home. The call is called ladies center to men sachet. But doesn't common sense say we can change that? 4 ladies chain. Join hands and circle left. And this one's always fun. Men center and the ladies sachet. Yeah. Men center and the girls sachet. Oh, yeah. Alaman left. And do a caveman promenade, which is knock her on the head and drag her backwards, is a whole lot closer that way. Not leave the knockoff. Simple things that we can do to change things. Let's see, what else I was going to do? Oh, yeah, okay. 2 and 4. How many of y'all use that anymore? It's always heads or sides. 2 and 4, square through. Swing through. Boy run right. Ferris wheel. Centers pass through. Alaman left. How many times have we ever seen this? Huh? Yeah, that's tough, isn't it? Do we ever wonder why at the end of the dance, dancers are walking around like this? Because we're always going right? Okay, how hard is it to change that? I know it's easy to do. We're comfortable with it because we know where the dancers are, and we're comfortable with where the ending position is. Okay? How hard is it to change that and not do anything and end up in the same place? 2 and 4 left, square through. Now do a left swing through. And the girls run left and Ferris wheel. And the centers pass through and Alaman left. It's the very exact same thing, except, now, is that creative? Would that be a little bit different at a mainstream dance at most places in the world? Most places, I said. Okay? They're over in Europe. This is old hat, second stuff. They're ready to go on this kind of stuff. Another thing that you can do to be creative at your dances without going too far is square through. How many times have you ever called a square through and they do the old hand clap, and then turn to face a corner? Huh? Yeah. Is that creative? Yeah, yeah. Did you ever wonder why they do that? Is it because they really like doing a square through? Yeah. If they loved it, if they liked doing it, they wouldn't do that. Okay. They do it because it's fun for them. I'll agree for that, but they do it because they know where it's going, they know where you're going, and frankly, they get a little bit bored, okay? Things that you can do, you got to think, you can think to yourself, what can I do to equal a square through? I do this with tips. This tip I'm going to call no square throughs, okay? 2 and 4, star through and California twirl. Equals same thing, doesn't it? Okay? Okay, 2 and 4 face back in, you're back home. I'm not going to do a bunch of different stuff. What happens if I do that all night? It gets old. They'd probably figure that out, wouldn't they? Okay? Okay, 2 and 4 slide through. And partner trade. Okay, we changed it up just a little bit. Okay, face back in, you're back home. Okay? 2 and 4 touch quarter. And boys run. Well, Bobby said I always do the heads, and that's not true. I'm a big stickler on not doing the heads all the time. Same thing, isn't it? Square through. Okay, you can do that in a lot of different places. Okay, sides face back in. If I did touch a quarter and boys run right, after a while, what would happen? They get used to it. Okay, I'm going to let the heads go. Heads do a left touch quarter. And the girl run left. Okay, equals the same thing. You don't have to get too far out in order to be creative. Okay, heads face back in. What would happen if I did left touch quarter and the girls run left all night long? They'd get used to that. How can you get away from that? Okay, heads do a flutter wheel and sweep a quarter and pass through. Okay, equals the same thing. Face back in so you can be back home. Okay, how do you change that up? It's not hard. Heads reverse flutter wheel. It's like looking in a mirror. Sweep a quarter and pass through. Okay. Now then, face back in. Now then, how can you get away from the pass through, okay? Sides, flutter wheel. Sweep a quarter. And veer left and right. So it equals the same thing. And you can do the same thing with reverse flutter wheel, except veer right and left. Same thing. So always look at that. Okay, sides, y'all can face back in. Always be looking at that because there's different ways that you can do to be creative, changing things just a little bit and not get too far out that we start breaking people down because anybody can do that. Okay? I had one time I had a caller who was an older caller, and he recommended me. He told me one time, Vernon, you're such a good caller, can't nobody dance to you. Okay, and that's sometimes what we do. We get too far out. Am I going too far? Okay. What else can you do that's different from the norm? How many times have we circled left, do passo? Okay? Or walk around the corner and then come back, do a do passo. The definition do passo says it starts from a circle of 2 or more couples. Okay? Head couples join hands and circle left all the way around in the middle. And when you get back home, just the head couples do a do passo. Start with your partner, turn your partner by the left, go back to your opposite lady, and turn her by the right. I said just the heads. I've isolated the heads. Go back to your opposite lady, turn her by the right, and come back to your partner for a courtesy turn. Okay? Okay? Now then, what can you do with that? Okay? Head couples join hands and circle left all the way around. Go. And when you get back home, start with your partner and do passo. Sides promenade halfway. The heads are turning the partner by the left, and they're turning their opposite lady by the right, and they're turning their partner by the left when they get back home. And look at that. Okay? And can you do that after a while? Can you do that on a singing call where the heads promenade halfway, then come into the middle? Sure you can. Sure you can. Different things that you can do. Let's see. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Vernon. Very good. You guys okay for a few more minutes, and then we'll take a little break? Okay. I know a very, very prominent caller who will not call do-si-do. Why? Because the dancers won't do-si-do. They do the swing. Okay. They do the hidey-ho. That's right. I found a way to kind of eliminate that, and it's worked for me, and it might work for you. Let me show you. Heads, step in and face your corner. Everybody swing through. Finish like a do-si-do. Go back to back. Look her in the eye. They already got the body flow, okay? They know where they're going, so it's no problem, all right? Step to a wave. Boys trade. Boy run around a girl. Bend the line, okay? Pass the ocean. Finish like a do-si-do. And I guarantee you the dancers are going to go back to back when you do that. But if you cue them back to back, there's no problem. But if you do it once or twice, they got it, okay? Do a right and left through. Okay? Veer left. Couples circulate. Bend the line. Okay? Pass the ocean. Swing through. Spin the top. Finish like a do-si-do. Back to back. You got nice lines of four. I know we don't have a lot of room here, but we have nice lines of four, okay? So, do I have to say finish like a do-si-do? I don't, because the ocean wave rule, we can do-si-do from an ocean wave. But if you clue them in to finish like a do-si-do, it helps the dancers, especially the lesser experienced dancers, and then know where you're going on it, okay? Yes. What is a do-si-do? Oh, that's right. So, we're not talking about rules and definitions here. We're talking about creativity, okay? And if we're not going to get into definitions and what this is and what that is, because we're going to get into some other things later on that's going to stretch it even a little further than this, okay? The dancers, yes. Back to back. That's right. So we're not talking about, taking the definition that says you can't do this because the definition says you can't. I'm talking about what you can do at a dance floor that will feel different to the dancers, okay? And, everybody just circle left 1/4 back home or wherever you started, okay? That's where your home position. I had those two boys cross. That's my fault. Okay, let's try this. Let's have the heads pass the ocean. Finish like a do-si-do. Pass through. Touch quarter. Centers trade. Very good. Now with the same sex, finish like a do-si-do. Right shoulder, back to back. Look them in the eye. Okay? Touch quarter. Centers trade. Very good. Where are the original side ladies? Side ladies, raise your right hand and keep it up. Both boys run around the side girl. Girls, you're getting to run around from both sides so you can't move. Okay? Okay? What do? We did a boys trade. Okay, but we didn't say that boys trade. We said boys run around the girl, and it feels different. It's the same thing. You get them in the same spot. Okay? Yeah, they will. I promise you. And this is what we can get away with a dance that will make the dancers feel like they're doing something different. Okay? Let me try this. Touch quarter. Boy run right, and everybody veer right. Now, why is that a little awkward? Body flow is perfect for that. That's because I did not say left. It's when the dancers hear the word veer, they start moving left. That is a touch a quarter, run right, veer right is perfect body flow, okay? Bend the line for me, okay? Touch a quarter. Girls run right, and everybody veer right. It's the same way we're moving. Of course it is, okay? And the only reason it feels weird to the dancers is because they're used to hearing nothing but veer left. In a way, she is. Okay, in a way, I agree. Bend the line for me, okay? Let me show them what they're talking about, okay? Touch a quarter, okay? Now, which way is the girls moving if we have the boys run right? She's moving to the right, okay? That's right. Boys run right, and everybody veer right. It's a little bit for the boys there, not the girls, okay? But it still will work, okay? It will work if you get the dancers
used to the term veering right, and that's easy to do. Let's do a Ferris wheel. If we want to set this up from the beginning, getting the dancers used to a veer right rather than a veer left, let's have the centers do a right and left through. Then veer to the left, then veer to the right, and everybody veer right. Then veer left. Centers veer to the left and veer to the right. The others do a partner's trade. Okay? So we got the right action going. They know where we're going with this thing. All right? Let's try this. Everybody face in. Make a line. Touch quarter. This is going to stretch it just a little bit, but with a good mainstream floor, you can get away with this, all right? Boys run right. All the girls veer right. All the boys step forward and trade by the right. Got a nice left-hand ocean wave, okay? What is that? That's single veer. We don't have that at mainstream. We can't do that, right? Of course we can do it, all right? Boy trade, okay? Girl run around the boy. Girls trade. Couples circulate. Bend the line. Touch quarter. Girls run right. Boys veer right. Girls step forward and trade by the right. We've got a nice left-hand wave. Do a single hinge. For the side ladies. Very good. Let's do this. Where's the original side boys? Right. Hold your hand up, side boys. Both girls run around the side boy. He's the one there with his hand up waiting for a taxi. Okay? Everybody, touch quarter. Boy run around a girl. So anything that has our body action moving left to right, we can use that single veer, and it works real good. Do a right and left through. Boys veer left. Girls step forward, trade by the left. Everybody swing through. When you meet her, finish like a do-si-do. Go back to back. Box the net. And do a right and left through. Boys veer left. Girls step forward, trade by the left. Girls run around the boys. And I guarantee you get by with this almost any mainstream floor, and it's pretty good stuff, okay? Let's bend the line for me one more time. I'll show you one more thing, okay? Touch quarter. Boy run around a girl. And everybody do a right and left through. Veer left. Couples circulate. Now, we know that at an average mainstream dance, the boys can only run around the girls if they're in the center. They have to start from the center because they can't run if they're on the end because they won't do it. That's just the way it is, okay? Boys fold in front of the girls. Girls slide apart, boys step in, boys trade by the left. So we just did a boys run without saying boys run, okay? Let's have girls fold behind the boys. Boys trade. Boys spread apart, girls slide in. Girls trade by the left. Bend the line. Touch quarter. Boy run right. Girl veer right. Boy step forward, trade by the right. Everybody do a left swing through. Girl run around the boys. Bend the line. So those are just a few of the things that you can get away with in mainstream that are not hard, but they're different, and they'll feel different, and that's what our creativity should be like, especially at our mainstream floors. Okay, you guys want to take a break? Go ahead and take a break, and we'll get to Zelona, and we'll get another square up. Thank you very much. Yes. No, well, possibly true, okay? But that's the key here, okay, is whether or not the dancers will do it and whether your average mainstream floor will feel like they have done something different, okay? You have to look at this and figure out where you're going with it before you take it to a dance, okay? There's some single veers I can show you that absolutely will not work at a mainstream floor, and I can show you why. But there's a lot of different things you can do with that. But the point is you have to take your checkers. You have to move checkers. You have to look and see what you can do with this stuff. Okay? Donna?
Yeah,
Now that your square's gone?
Yeah, my square's gone. Can I have another square?
How about...
Or the same square, whatever.
Can we get some more dancers?
Could I have
please?
A square? Now I have Vernon.
Don't make us beg.
I have Vernon now. I just need 7 more people. Thank you. We're getting there.
What do we need, girl?
We need a girl if we have a girl. Okay, we got her. Okay. I want to just add to a little thing that Vernon actually pointed out. He had this singing call figure that we all have danced so many times, and now we will dance it just one more time. Let's have the hit square through 4. Just for the fun of it, do-sa-do.
It's so nice when they do it.
Swing through. Boy run. Ferris wheel. Pass through. Okay? And we could now, if we wanted to, swing our corner. Right? Okay, heads face in. Let's step back, okay? Let's try that. Almost the same thing. We'll do all the beginning colors again, like square through foreheads, okay? And let's do the do-sa-do also. Then let's swing through. Boy run. Ferris wheel, and only the centers veer to the left. Only the girls do-sa-do straight forward, 1.5. Swing him, 1.5 under, yeah, swing him and promenade. Was that different? Yes, it was different, but it was the same thing. Let's head step into the center and face your corner. We have now done a square through, okay? Swing through. Boy run. Ferris wheel. Only the centers veer to the left, and only the girls pass through. Okay, swing him and promenade. Another little variation, but it was the same thing. Okay? Vernon also pointed out the how many times have we circle left and then do passo thing. Actually, I have never tried it. And this is not a joke. I have never tried it, a do passo after a circle left. But that's because, I don't know, but I haven't. But if I ask the heads to do a half sachet, okay, and head square through, but on your fourth hand, start a do passo. See, we go here, and then we go all the way to our corner, and everybody is now involved, and all finish. It's another little thing that is not very often used. Not difficult, no, but different. All four ladies chain home. Okay, I would also like to say, I don't know if we have, when we talk among ourselves, a difference between gimmicks and gotchas. I don't know, where I come from, we have a caller who's famous in trying to get us. He laughs every time he succeeds. And
Does everybody know what a gotcha is? Yeah, a gotcha. That's a call that is called with the intentional purpose of breaking down the floor, okay? And there's a lot of callers that use those, and those are really no-nos, you know? You should never use them, even... Go ahead, that's all I want to say, as long as everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's fine, and I just wanted to stress out that we should be careful not using too many of those I got you calls, because that is, for a dancer, not very nice. It might be fun one time, and maybe the second time, but the third time it's not fun anymore, is it?
Yeah, let me give them a couple of examples of gotchas, okay? And you guys may do this since you're ready for it and you know something, a curveball is coming, okay? But then again, may not. Let's have let's see what we can do here to maybe get them a little bit, all right? Heads past the ocean. Extend the tag and everybody do the last half of left swing through. Whenever you're ready. Is that hard? It's a trade by the right. Of course it's not hard, but it's a gotcha, you know? It's a gotcha because they weren't expecting. Are y'all still moving over there?
You got them.
I got them. Okay, repair your square, okay? Now we're repaired and when all the gotchas are gone, let's have all the boys do an Allemande left. And normally we would do that with our corner. That's a gotcha, okay? That's a gotcha. Okay, go ahead, Laura.
Yes, along the line of the stars I started up with, I would like all of you to do an Allemande left. Do-sa-do once and a quarter. Okay? Boys, check your left-handed wave, and you have a right hand, you have a two-hand star with a girl next to you, okay? Your partner, you have a right hand to your partner. Okay, turn that right-hand star halfway. Girls, you have a left-hand star, turn that star halfway. Turn the right-hand star halfway. Turn the left-hand star halfway. Boy, run around the girl. Promenade that way home. Can I call that a mainstream dance? Yeah. I can, and I do it all the time. Is it hard? No. but different. And yes, I guess I did an all-eight swing through, or whatever it's called when you dance more than mainstream. But at the end of the day, if I managed to get the message across to the dancers, does it matter what term I used? If they had a ball, I believe I am okay then. If the dancers got away with it, if they did what I wanted them to do, I succeeded. And that's how I look at it. It might be stretching the definition, yes, but if I get the dancers through it without too much hassle, so what? Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to add on what Vernon said. I don't know if you need the dancers.
Vernon, yeah.
Yes, I do that.
The question was earlier, is it, are we bringing the, what were you doing? Single veer, concept. If you can do it using mainstream terminology, I think it's okay. Join hands and circle left. How many times how do we know how to do this? Alaman left. Turn partner by the right. Girls make a left-hand star and the boys wrong way promenade to the same partner. Turn partner by the right. Boys make a left-hand star, girls wrong way promenade to the same partner. Boys run right around your partner. Wrong way promenade. Yeah, I did 2 all-8 spin the tops. Yeah, but big deal. Okay, I'm gonna have to be quick on this one. Do an Alaman left. Girls make a right-hand star and boys promenade around the outside to the same corner. Remember who your corner is. When you meet your corner, do an Alaman left, and the boys make a right-hand star and the girls promenade around the outside of the same corner. When you meet your corner, walk forward, guys, and do an Alaman left with your corner. Come back and promenade. Would you like to do that again? Okay. Now, because I did not say make an Alaman there. I said boys start by the right. So let's try that again. Join hands, circle left. Yeah, do an Alaman left. Girls make a right-hand star and the boys promenade around the outside to the same corner. When you meet her, do an Alaman left. Boys make a right-hand star and girls promenade around the outside to the same corner. When you meet your corner, do an Alaman left. And come back and promenade. Is that all mainstream terminology? Ernie, what's that call called? That's the old triple Alaman, isn't it? Yeah, isn't it, Dave? Huh? Triple Alaman yaw, yeah. Yeah. But that was different, huh? Cool, huh? So there's different things that you can do. Along the lines of gimmicks, I like to use things that get you back at home, okay? And here's one. I'm not going to go showing a bunch and tying up your time, but here's one I learned the second year I ever learned how to call. Okay, side step into the middle and face your corner. Okay, that would equal a square through. Swing through, and the girls circulate, the boys trade. We've done that a jillion times. And the boys run right around a girl and bend the line and touch quarter, and everybody circulate once and a half, and the center 2 boys trade, and the girls cast off 3/4, and center boys trade spread apart. I left that out, I'm sorry. And the center 2 girls cast left 3/4, and now you've got a wave down the middle, and the center wave swing through, and the center boys trade, and the center boys run right, and everybody bend the line. And I love ending tips that way. That puts everybody back at home. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, and there's a lot of things that you can get away with just using a half a call, but you have to work the dancers with it. For example, let's have the head step in, face your corner, okay? Swing through, the girls circulate, and the boys trade. So I'm set up my 0 line here, okay? Boy run around the girl. Bend the line, okay? Let's do a right or left through with a half sachet. So there's a half. Pass through, okay? Do a half sachet. Who goes in front? The boys. Do a half of a courtesy turn. Do a half of a circulate. And half wheel around. And you're home, okay? So we did a few halves there. You can use that half sachet and reverse half sachet really effectively too at a mainstream dance because eventually they'll get it. Let's have the head step in face your corner. Okay. Let's look at the veer right part of it. Okay. Swing through for me, but finish like a do-si-do. Go back to back. Look her in the eye. Okay. Touch quarter. Boy run around the girl. Do a right and left through. Put the lady in the lead. Go Dixie style to an ocean wave, and just the boys finish like a do-si-do. You look each other in the eye. Boys touch a quarter. Girls face in. Boys extend and everybody finish like a do-si-do. Very good. Pass through. Boys, clover leaf. Girls touch a quarter. Just the girls walk and dodge. Very good. Everybody touch a quarter, and the boys trade. Where was it going? Boy run around a girl. Bend the line. Okay. Now, this not for smoothness, but to get them in a setup, do a left touch quarter. Okay. Circulate. Okay. Girls run left. Boys veer left. Girls step forward and trade by the left. We have a nice right-hand ocean wave. Okay. Swing through. Finish like a do-si-do. Okay. Box the net. Pass through and trade by. Okay. Touch quarter. Both girls run around the center boy. That's a girl's trade. Okay. Very good. Everybody box the net. Okay. Pass through. Tag the line all the way through. Face in. Left touch quarter. Boys run left. Girls veer left. Boys step forward, trade by the left. Finish like a do-si-do. Okay. Nothing to this stuff. Okay. Touch quarter. Centers trade. Now somebody was asking about a scoot back after the centers trade. If you just say the word balance. Okay. Balance. We know what a balance is. It's called, right? Scoot back. That'll really help the dancers, especially when you get them in parallel ocean waves that are spread out. Okay. Centers trade. Boy run around the girl. I don't know, I forgot who was corner because I didn't look when we started, but anyway, okay, that's your corner. You got a partner corner, okay? Pass through. Wheel and deal. Zoom. Slide through. Where are we at? Whose corner now? Okay, promenade a quarter home. Okay? Very good. Yeah. For not looking when I started, it's pretty good. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and open it up for questions. Do we have any questions? And when we thank you very much. On the microphone, please say your name and who you are. Remember, this session is being recorded, and you can buy these tapes from the tape service down below, and they'll all be available to us. So if you want to take this home and listen to it later on, and maybe come back and review some of what we've done here. Okay. So when you speak into the microphone, I'll pass it around for questions. Just tell us who you are and where you're from, and we'll go from there.
I'm Bob Rollins from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. A lot of times what happens, you talked about the swing through, spin the top, right and left through stuff, you know. When you work your equivalents or square through forehands, and you see that ocean wave, I find it a lot of fun to first call the swing through, and then have the girls circulate. Then call another swing through and a single hinge, and when you do that, you can split circulate twice to a right and left grand. And the dancers, you may have to ask them the first time which direction is your right hand pointing in, but they'll do it. And it's a lot of fun, and it gets you away from that falling into that swing through, spin the top rut.
Thank you for that comment. It's easy to see that here's one of the guys who works with his checkers and knows what's going on. But it's important that you do that, okay? And it's important that you keep it simple. And as I said, you should go into a dance with an idea of what you're going to do. If you go in there and just say, well, I'll figure out something as I go along, it's not going to be successful, okay? And the reason we sometimes get over creative is not because the dancers are bored, it's because we're bored, okay? We get bored with our calling, as Vernon said, and we do stuff that's too hard for the dancers to comprehend, and we just don't really know why, because we're so smart and we've got it all figured out, and it should be easy, okay? Ernie?
I got a couple of things. Ernie Kinney, Fresno, California. Couple of things that concerned me when you were calling. So the first thing was the waist swing do-sa-do, and I got a gotcha for that. And it only involves those people who do the waist swing. We'll say heads pair off or step up and face your corner, do-sa-do, center four, do a partner trade and square through three. So that only gets the people that do the waist swing thing usually. And another thing I had, but I forgot what it was.
That happens when you get to your age, Ernie. Thanks, Ernie. But that's true. You can do a gotcha call, and you can see if the dancers are doing the waist swing, and you can, if you want to break down the floor a few times because you insist that they're going to do it back to back. I do not insist that the dancers do it back to back because they're out there having fun. They're to be entertained, and if they want to do the waist swing, I don't care, and I'm sure you don't either. But if you want to show them that there's a proper way to do it, Ernie is right. You can catch them on some of that. Once a night, you insist, okay?
I'm Don Rouse from Boulder, Colorado. I asked you about what is a do-si-do because you ask like a do-si. Why can't you say finish with a do-si-do?
You could.
Okay.
There's no reason why you can't.
The reason I say that, my first class in my basement, I had a teacher that I was part of my class, and I said, do an Alaman left like an Alaman dar. And we went through the motions and everything. When we was finished, she says, what is an Alamandar? I said, we just did it. She said, no, you said it was like an Alamandar. What is an Alamandar? So that's why I made that comment.
I think that's just a matter of personal preference. You want to say finish do-si-do, and it's a very good point. It's a very good point, because some dancers might not know, well, what is it? We did it like it, but what is that? So it's a very good point.
Right, and along the lines of Ernie's gotchas and some of the gotchas, I was dancing to a caller one night, and I'm sure most of us have, join hands and circle left and walk out around the big old ring. I love that one. Everybody's walked around the corner by the time he says walk out around the big old ring. And once or twice, after I want to kill him.
Jack McConnell, Hendersonville, North Carolina. What we were talking about before, just a few minutes ago, is surprise right and left grands, which are really very nice. And a pretty simple one is from a zero line, just roll the ladies away, half sachet, or just do a half sachet. Pass through, tag the line, face in, and touch a quarter. Now, from that position, which is just another zero line, no matter how many times you circulate, if you had the girls run, it's a right and left grand. You could circulate once, twice, girls run, right and left grand. And it's a very simple one, and I've used it many times, and the people are still amazed. How do you do that? So.
Very good. Yes, there are a lot of those, and I can see that you've also worked with your checkers, but it's important that you do that. As gimmicks, we know what gimmicks are, right? That's usually a series of calls that we have already worked out. We know where we're going with them, and we know we're going to look for a final end result. Okay, we know what the result is before we start. Where you have a set routine, where you have sides, flutter, wheel, heads, or number one couple lead right and do a right and left through with number two and blah blah blah, and you get them all facing maybe the front of the hall so you can welcome them there, and then you have your little get out. Or you can have a single call gimmick, like four boys in the middle box the net. They'll do it, okay? It's not legal, Of course it's not legal, but they'll do it. And it's a little gimmicky thing that you can get a chuckle if you're looking for. Or same-sex box the net. For example, that setup Lona had before with the swing through, boy run, Ferris wheel, centers veer left. From there you could have had the girls box the net and centers bend the line and you're home, okay? But and it gets a little chuckle. So that's a gimmick to me, and that's not a gotcha. And there are some other... yes, go ahead.
Terry Lewis from Nova Scotia, Canada. When we're doing dance by definition, maybe as a prelude to plus, where do we find a place for that afterwards if we're afraid to do anything that's non-standard application at a festival? Is that all there is for it in your own club?
That's a good place to start. You're talking about wanting to try an idea that you're not sure whether the dancers are going to be receptive to it?
In choreography, we do a non-standard swing through at a festival. Maybe they'll mess up or something, and so you don't dare to do it. There are at least a lot of festivals, I've heard people say, we don't dare to call a Dixie style an ocean wave because it breaks down all the time, and which is a shame. But,
it is, yeah, but it happens.
When you do these non-standard, like dance by definition workshops at your club, so people know where they are all the time, but then you don't dare to use them anywhere else other than these simple, almost direction called things we were doing.
I guess that that you could use your tip to build whatever you want to use in your singing call. And if you want to work with Dixie style to an ocean wave, you should do so. And I'm sure you will get, you don't have to pick the most odd choreo you can find, but start up easy, and the next tip you might add a little more on it. And don't be afraid to use the same singing call figure 4 times if that's what it takes. I mean, that is not a big deal, and they will love to feel that they managed it. And if they even managed it 4 times, it's so much better. And you may think it's a little boring, but the dancers will not think it's boring, because you just gave them some choreo they are not used to dance. Like that same figure we danced the whole afternoon, that square through 4, swing through, boy run, blah, 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 blah. There's another misused thing also in the swing through, boy run, bend the line. How many times do we call that? I'm guilty of calling that 99.9% of my dance. And yet, all it takes for me is to call swing through, single hinge, boy run, to achieve that bend the line effect. Does it feel different? So much different. It is very different. And that at least gives me a chance to add a little different feel to it. I love wheel around, and I love reverse wheel around. And I work that at every dance I call. I use a lot of U-turn backs. I use fractional U-turn back, half of a U-turn back. Because you can half of a U-turn back, but from everywhere. Many people will say, yeah, but that's a roll. No, it's not. It's half of a U-turn back. Because you cannot roll after a pass-through, can you? No, you can't. But you can half of a U-turn back. And you can create some really nice choreography with half of a U-turn back. That is, if you build it the right way. Don't throw in recycle and half of a U-turn back. They will go, huh? Or couple circulate and half of a U-turn back. They will not manage to dance that, or lots wouldn't, if you don't build up to it the right way.
Like
Two things. First, I'm sorry, Bob Rollins, still from Broken Arrow. 2 things. When you come up with something like that, Dixie style to an ocean wave, a problem, what I find is if I use it at the first part of my tip, where I know the dancers are going to have success, or my resolution is going to be right at the end to where I'm going to go out with a swing your corner or Allemande left or something. For example, static square, head ladies change straight across, send her back Dixie style to an ocean wave. When you do that, you've got 2 other couples watching and giving them a little help to succeed in that Dixie style to an ocean wave. 2 boys in the middle make an arch. Side ladies change through the arch. Send her back through the arch, Dixie style, an ocean wave. You got to back up, start, slip the clutch, left Allemande, and you're ready to go. But when you're putting your choreography together, sometimes it's fun, just as you put your head on the pillow, to say, I want to resolve this thing with a half tag, right and left grand. How do I do that? And then back up. And as you back up, use your dolls and create your choreography from there. And you'd be surprised at some of the wonderful things that you can come up with.
Don Rouse from Boulder again. When you do your U-turn back, they really have to know which way to turn on a U-turn back when you do a half a U-turn back.
Sure.
Otherwise, they're not going to be where you want them.
No. I cannot hear you, sir. I'm sorry.
You want to repeat that? It's on.
Excuse me. Thank you, Ron. Jerry Mitchell. If I'm understanding, and you said don't get involved in definition, so I didn't want to do that, but I'm kind of curious because you turn towards your partner.
Unless the call you just dance has a body flow that indicates you should turn another way.
Okay, unless.
Mm-hmm.
And the final thing on that, the final deal on that, unless they've changed it, is turn what's comfortable, which would mean that we no longer have a standard for which way you're going to turn.
Sorry?
I'm gonna let Dave go with it, but this not go.
To my understanding, a U-turn back, I might be wrong, but to my understanding, a U-turn back is if you have what I call no flow. If you walk, no turning motion, if you walk straight forward, you should turn towards your partner. If you have a turning motion, that is the way your U-turn back should be done. And I believe that's what you say, you use the word comfortable, I believe. Yeah? It would not be very comfortable to do the U-turn back towards the way your body wants to move. So I believe that we're talking the same thing, just in two different words, or are we not? Vernon, can you clear that up for me? Because I am not sure I understand the gentleman.
Yeah, put me on the spot.
Exactly. You've just been walking around there for hours now.
I don't have the definitions here in front of me, and so I think that's a question that a set of definitions would probably answer for us, and so we could probably sit here and argue about it all day long, and this, that, and the other. So, okay. I just sparked Dave up again. So,
as I understood it, backtrack defined which way you turn. U-turn back didn't.
U-turn back does.
Then it was changed then.
okay. State your name.
Fred Martin from Stewart, Virginia. I know Doug said no getting into definition, but here I'm thinking the do-si-do, like a do-si-do, work fine for dancers, but you've got the first night of class, and you've got angels coming in. You tell the angels to be sure to do the do-si-do back-to-back and no Highland swings, because the students are going to pick up and do what that. So I believe you go back to definition of do-si-do, it's from in front of one another, veer to the left, slide across and back up and get straight in front of the same person. Now, this is my interpretation.
Yes, but sir, there's also the ocean wave rule that applies. And we can do the do-si-do from ocean wave because of the ocean. Yeah, we can do a right and left through. We can do a pass through also from ocean waves because the ocean wave rule applies, which means that you can look at it the same way as if it were facing couples. Okay, Ernie has a question.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Ernie Kenny, y'all.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing, Ernie?
You were discussing a moment ago veers, and this isn't exactly a veer, but I think it's something that a lot of callers I've heard call star through, veer left. So Dee Dee, Darty, Lottie, and I had a discussion about it. She said, "Hell, don't bother me. I call star through and veer right." That makes the boys go back the other way. So we as men callers, we tend sometime to call things that don't involve the ladies, and you're talking about just the boys, Alaman left. Now they say you boys can do it together if you want to. Now I have another question about creative choreography in the mainstream program. Does this include asymmetric things?
Absolutely. Anything that you feel that you can get the dancers through. Okay, that's what creativity is about. Is feeding the dancers a dance that is exciting and different and successful, primarily successful. If you know that you have a routine that's going to guarantee you a 90% success ratio, absolutely use it.
Did I do a quickie?
Sure.
Ernie, quickie, little
square. We'll get Ernie to do a quickie for us. He's good at quickies.
This is asymmetric. You may not do it quickie. You thought to be kidding.
When you get his age, everything is fast.
Come on. Quickie. Quickie, this won't take long. I better get up here at the head couple. Okay. This is a lot of fun. There's four or five ways to do this, but we'll do one. Head ladies chain to the right. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. That means the side ladies got to go the other way, yeah. That's the funniest looking lady I've ever seen in my life. What a funny looking lady. New head ladies chain across. All 4 ladies chain. Now this is not asymmetric exactly, but this is a good way to end a dance sometime if you want to talk to folks. Couple number 1, go down the middle, split number 3, round 1, hook on the end, make a line. Forward 4 and back that way. 2 and 4 do a half sachet. Go up to the middle and back to the ring. Forward again, the opposite swing. The number 4 gent, the one in front. Oh, finish the swing with your back to the line of 4. With your back to the line of 4. Number 4 gent, do a half sachet with that girl. Stand cheek to back to back. Back to back, not cheek to cheek. You're the number 4 gent. Stand back to back with that girl. No. Just stand back. Turn her butt to butt, back to back. Separate. Go halfway around behind the line of 4. When you meet, now you can talk while they're up here all facing you. You can give them a little talk. Say, you're so glad you came to the dance tonight. Hope you had a good time. And when you meet in the back, everybody do an allemande left. And promenade short. Quickie now. This is asymmetric. 1 and 2. Do a right and left through. New 204. Go forward and back. Do a right and left through. Same 2 ladies chain straight across. All 4 couples half sachet. New number 2. Go across the square. Split the pair around 1. Hook on the end. Make a line. Go forward and back. New number 1. Go across the square, split the pair around 1. Hook on the end, make a line. Y'all look like L. Okay, forward again, stand pat in the middle. Now you look like TT. 4 on the side, bend your line. Start with the left, do a left square through 4. 4 in the middle, bend your line to face one another. Pass through, allemande left. That's asymmetric.
Very good. As you can see, this is a gimmick, and this is all memorized stuff, and there are thousands of them out there.
I didn't memorize that. I was sight calling.
Yeah. And they're really good, and they really, the dancers say, wow, how did I do that? And that's what you want to do, is wow the dancers. You need the dancers. Your job as a caller and as an entertainer is not showing the dancers how good you are, but showing them how good they are. Making them feel that they're actually better dancers than they are. I said, wow, I didn't know I could do that. So, and just keep in mind that a little of it will go a long way. The dancers came to dance. They didn't come to be workshopped all night with your complex choreography that you have to walk through. Never be afraid to abandon an idea. If you try something that's just not working, a dance the other night I was trying to do a swing through boy cross run to a chain down the line. It's a great choreo, smooth flow. They could not get it. I had to abandon the idea and go on to something else because I just couldn't get it, and I didn't want to spend the time workshopping it. Anybody else? Is that it? How are we doing on time? Done. Thank you so much for coming. Hope you enjoyed the session. Buy the tape. Thank you, Ernie.